Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're a brand new subscriber or a brand new viewer. My name is Kyle and today I'll be reviewing Spider-Man No Way Home. This is the third movie directed by Jon Watts and once again stars Tom Holland as Peter Parker. And now the whole world knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, which is taking a major toll on his professional life and his personal life with those he cares about most. So in order to fix it, he goes to Doctor Strange, who tries to concoct a spell so that everyone can forget about him. Of course, Peter tries to tamper with the spell, and let's just say that chaos comes after that. For anybody that's known me personally, as well as anyone who's been on my channel for a long time, you know that Spider-Man is my childhood favorite hero. I have always loved him, and for nostalgic reasons, I always will. He will always be my favorite. So of course, I was extremely excited to see this movie. And for this review, like for basically any Marvel movie, it's gonna be a bit tough to talk about it without bringing up spoilers. So this review will be spoiler-free. I will eventually make a longer spoiler-filled review later on where I can really dive deep into the things I loved about this movie. But I can definitely say in spoiler-free fashion that I thought this movie was great. I absolutely loved this film. From beginning to end, I was completely on the edge of my seat, just glued to the screen. This is the best of the new Spider-Man movies, without a doubt, and in my opinion, this is the best live-action Spider-Man film since Spider-Man 2. Jon Watts, the film's director, definitely learned from the imperfections of his previous movies. Tom Holland is once again great as both Peter Parker and as Spider-Man. I think he's able to fit both of these characters perfectly, and in terms of the comics, he's definitely the closest iteration to the character that we've had so far. I really liked his performance in the movie, as well as everyone else. Zendaya and Jacob Batalon as Ned and MJ are both fantastic in the film. I really liked Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm not the biggest Benedict Cumberbatch fan, that might disappoint some people, but I definitely like him as Doctor Strange. Definitely as the movies have kept going, he's become more and more likable to me. The action sequences are all expertly crafted, they are very well directed. I think the CG is definitely less noticeable than the previous Spider-Man movies, especially with Homecoming. That movie had some really bad CGI. But this movie, like I said before with Jon Watts, he really has improved as a filmmaker, and I can see that in this movie. Everything that was done, I'd say okay to good in his previous movies, is great to excellent here. There's also a grander sense of scope. These movies are no longer trying to be like a John Hughes high school comedy, it's more serious and more adult-oriented, but it still has a ton of fun and great humor that the Marvel movies are very used to having. This also allows the film to be more dramatic. This is, without a doubt, the most dramatic of the Spider-Man movies, and I really appreciate that. It makes me feel like how I did as a kid when I saw the older Spider-Man movies. Now again, this review is very, very difficult because there is so much I want to talk about, but I gotta leave it for the spoiler review. But the best I can say is, from the trailer that I saw, which was the first one, there are two villains that were revealed in that trailer to be in the movie. Doc Ock and the Green Goblin. And what I can say is that for those two characters and any of the other villain characters, I'm not going to name any names, I was extremely excited, but I was a little bit worried because I have seen older characters be taken into the newer generation and a lot of them have been butchered. A lot of them turn out to be sad sacks, and I didn't want to see that happen again. And the best thing I can say without spoiling anything is that they treated these villains with respect. They didn't try to meander anything. They didn't try to really screw up anything. And at first I was like, I'm not sure what they're doing here. But definitely as the movie kept going on, I was very satisfied with the choices that they wanted to make. And if those choices were in the hands of the wrong people, it not only could have ruined this film, but could have ruined things that happened in the past. But fortunately, it was in the hands of the right people because with a good script, they definitely made the right choices here. And Spider-Man movies are all about making choices. With great power comes great responsibility. And those themes are definitely just looming in this film. And they handled them so well. I was extremely impressed because they really could have dropped the ball with this one. They really could have. But I really feel like the best decisions were made with the best writing of these movies that I've seen since Spider-Man 2. Now, in the style of a Marvel movie, there are definitely things that are set up in this movie that will lead to the next one. And for me, there was one thing that was brought up by a character, and I'm not gonna name names again, but there was one thing that was brought up that for me, I kind of wished it could have been developed a little bit further in this movie, because if we're judging this movie singularly alone, there was something that I wished was expanded on that I felt was kind of left by the wayside. Honestly, guys, from the moment the movie ended, to getting in my car driving home, to sitting here pondering what to talk about before turning on the camera, I was really struggling to find flaws in the film, because to me, this movie was so solid and it felt so over the top, yet so grounded at the same time. It almost feels like an impossibility that this movie was able to accomplish, because there really was never a moment where I was taken out of the movie where I was like, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. There was one thing that I was like, well, I wish it was explained more, but I don't feel like there was anything that was like, oh my god, this is ridiculously stupid. I had a great time at the movies experiencing this film with a completely packed audience. Every single seat was filled. Everyone was excited. You could feel the excitement festering in the air. This movie is solid entertainment, and I definitely think that it is the best Marvel movie that we've had in quite some time. And if they're going to keep this up with this good of writing and this good of direction, we're in for some great treats in the future. I'm going to give Spider-Man No Way Home an A. I'm very curious to hear what your guys' thoughts on the movie are. Now, if you are going to comment on this video and you talk about spoilers, make a mention in the comments, spoilers, in all caps. Because if you spoil anything in the comments, your comment will be deleted. I promise you that. I don't want anyone spoiling any of the fun for anyone that has not seen this movie. So please be respectful in the comments. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this movie. I will definitely make a spoiler review in the near future to talk more in depth about the film, because there was so much that I really wanted to talk about that I really couldn't for this review. But I tried to get as much information in as I possibly could for the spoiler-free review. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. The links to all my social media pages can be found in the description box below, as well as my new business email. Any inquiries, please also send them in the description box below. Thank you all so much, as always, for watching, and stay tuned.